Welcome to my new video, everyone. Forget all the theory videos I've made before. In this video, we're gonna do something much crazier. Are we ready? Look, I'm telling you. What would have happened if Michael had died in the heist at the beginning of Grand Theft Auto 5? Most of you have played and finished Grand Theft Auto 5. So, in the main story of the game, Franklin, Michael, and Trevor come together and progress through a certain storyline throughout the game. But in this video, I'm going to talk about what kind of story this game would have if Michael died at the beginning of the game. In this new alternate story, events change completely and the Grand Theft Auto 5 you all know turns into a completely different game. By the way, if you like these kinds of theory videos, you can subscribe to my channel. So, let's cut the chatter and get started. Now, isn't Michael one of the most important characters in the game? I mean, this guy is almost like a glue that holds everything together. I'm talking about all the main characters in the series, specifically Trevor, Franklin, and Lester here. He's the only guy who connects them all together. Michael is a former robber in the game, a smart planner, and at the same time, a depressed family man. Michael is the only man who helps Franklin rise in the criminal world. Meanwhile, he's also why Trevor comes back to Los Santos, and even a pawn who balances FIB affairs at the same time. What would have happened if Michael hadn't existed? First of all, Trevor was returning to Los Santos to find Michael, right? If Michael hadn't existed, Trevor would have either stayed in Blaine County or gone after another enemy. Because I don't think Trevor would just sit still. As for Franklin, couldn't he have gotten into big heists without Michael? So would he have been stuck working for Simeon, or could he have found another mentor? As for the FIB, Michael was the one who got the FIB to finance the heists. Otherwise, where would the money have come from? Also, would Lester have been left alone? And would the story have been darker without Michael's family, especially Amanda and the kids? So, as I just said, Michael is a connector. He ties everyone to the story. Without him, the story could completely fall apart. I mean, it could have taken a totally different shape. And right here, in my opinion, the alternative story could have gone like this. Michael DeSanta dies during the heist. The story is acceptable up to that point. After that, Trevor stays completely in Blaine County and focuses even more on his drug business. So I don't really think he'll return to Los Santos, but it's Trevor, you never know. Of course, without Michael, Trevor's dreams of a big heist would have just remained dreams. As for Franklin, he would have kept doing simple car thefts with classic Simeon and kept hanging around with Lamar doing small-time jobs. So how would Franklin and Trevor have teamed up without Michael? Trevor could have connected with someone else instead of Michael, like an old robber, and there's Brad. Yeah, let's say Brad survived the North Yankton heist, for example. Actually, Brad wasn't as smart as Michael. I mean, his plans usually ended badly. So this situation wouldn't have ended well for Trevor at all. But wait, Trevor and Franklin will somehow team up. Anyway, Trevor could have come to Los Santos with the robber he found in Michael's place for a white deal. And he would have run into Franklin by coincidence. Of course, this coincidence could have happened exactly like this. While stealing one of Madrazo's cars, Franklin crashes into Trevor's truck. Franklin's courage. Trevor likes Franklin's cool and calm demeanor, so he approaches him. They form a friendship. But unlike Michael, Trevor is not a mentor or anything like that. He's a complete chaos machine. So instead of teaching Franklin about heists, he teaches him how to fight with gangs and stuff like that. This is exactly where Lester can come into play. But without Michael's strategic intelligence, these heists are honestly a lot riskier. For example, instead of the jewelry store heist, Trevor might suggest raiding the Vago's white warehouse. And of course, as a result, they might pull off this heist with a huge explosion and very little profit. So, it's a huge fiasco. Also, this time the FIB might set their sights on Trevor. So just like they used Michael, they might want to use Trevor as well. However, Trevor isn't as smart or strategic as Michael, so it's certain that there will be a big problem with the FIB. In fact, in this alternate story, Trevor and Franklin could have started a big war against Martin Madrazo.
In fact, I said that instead of Michael, this guy, is the one making the plans.
In this story, because of Brad's bad plans, a complete mess could have happened. Of course, at the end of this war, Franklin, Brad, and Trevor could be surrounded by Martin's men. In such a scene, they are left with two options. Either they will blow everything up, or they will surrender. So, as a result, in this alternate story, it could have ended with a dramatic finale, just like in the original story of Grand Theft Auto 5. So, Trevor would sacrifice himself, Franklin would escape from there, and Los Santos would truly be plunged into great chaos. So, in the end, without Michael's strategic intelligence, Franklin would have had to take huge risks to rise in the criminal world. Trevor's chaotic guidance would likely lead to an early death or a life of crime. Seriously, dude, do you think Franklin could have survived without Michael? As for Trevor, away from Michael's calm and clever interventions, Trevor would have turned into a complete wrecking machine. But of course, he could have been a hero at the end of the story. I mean, sacrificing himself. Trevor and heroism. Even though it sounds ridiculous, it could have happened this way. As for Brad, he could never have taken Michael's place. I mean, because of his crappy plans, he probably could have ended up in jail or something in the middle of the story. Lester is the brains behind the heists, but Michael's involvement is vital to keeping him motivated. Maybe he could have kept doing small jobs, like in Grand Theft Auto Online. The Los Santos story turned into a dark tale without Michael and his family. So, gangs would be much stronger. The FIB would be more in the background, and rich guys like Devin Weston could have taken control. Which Rockstar character could replace Michael from Grand Theft Auto 5? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious. I mean, I think Arthur Morgan seems like just the right guy for this kind of stuff. It seems like Arthur Morgan could do this job instead of Michael too. Nicholas seems suitable, but I'm not certain. Please share your thoughts in the comments. I'm very curious to know. By the way, if you like these theory videos, you can also subscribe to my channel. Should we discuss what would happen if Trevor or Franklin weren't in the next video? Share your thoughts in the comments. We can continue if you'd like. Take care. Goodbye.